Hi, I'm Maxon Moreland. I'm James's older brother, and today I'll be playing the part of why Ebenezer Scrooge was a bad person. To start with, Ebenezer Scrooge was the cheapest person. He's one of the cheapest people in all of literature, to be fair. Let's see. He only allowed like the smallest piece of coal to be burned in what was the accounting house. And then he got on Cratchit's butt for burning too much coal when he was cold. Like, it's England in the winter. You're cold, and he's an accounting house. Scrooge is rich. He can afford it, so why doesn't he do it? Like, he's pinching pennies for no good reason at all. And then he skimps on Cratchit's salary as well. What was it, 15 shillings? Like, the guy just wouldn't give people their fair share. And, like, he wasn't like, the most extravagant person in the world, but, like, just why? Like, if you have the capability to do it, to give people a better life, to, like, be warm in that situation, why not just do it? He's old. He's not saving for retirement at this point. He could retire. So he's just pinching pennies to pinch pennies.
Hello. Wait. So, look. That would cause inflation if he were to use more coal. So he's just saving other people more money by not buying more coal, which would make the price go up of coal. It's simple sense. It's common sense. Hello, I'm James Moreland. I believe Ebenezer Scrooge is a great citizen. If forgiving someone for the past that isn't their fault because their mom died during childbirth, causing the father to hate him and blame him for everything, with only his sister being the only good person in his life, who would barely even be there in the first place, causing him to be a sad old man, with one other relative, since his sister died, his nephew, who would barely be near him. If that's okay to forgive, he's a great man. Alright. First off, what makes a good citizen? Well, briefly, donating to charity, paying taxes, and being kind. Those are like the three off the top of my head and the script. And he does all of this. Like, he does all of this and more. He told people he paid his tax as a citizen. So when the people, or towards the beginning of the movie, three men walked up to Ebenezer and asked him if he could donate. He declined, which, granted, not a good person, but still, he declined. And he would later change his ways and donate anonymously, proving that he doesn't want it for his company. He wants it to be a good citizen. He donated anonymously, and it was an anonymous amount, granted, but given the reactions of the people asking for the donations, they were shocked. They were impressed. They were jumping with joy. And he asked them to be quiet because he doesn't want attention. The next time, around the same area where he donated the great sum of money, he gave Bob Cratchit, his only employee, a giant turkey and a raise for Christmas. And the turkey was anonymous. He did not want anything. He didn't want to make his employee feel like he was required to do this extra work. Instead, he gave it anonymously, so he didn't feel required. So he wasn't pressured. And finally, when he was out giving, asking for forgiveness, basically, there was this choir, and he wasn't really fond of the idea of having so many people singing, but he changed his ways and he looked at the bright side of things. He told them that they had beautiful voices and he donated some money to the cup. In conclusion, Mr. Scrooge was already a good citizen and even better now. Just because of his past making him grumpy didn't make him a bad person. With all the charity he's done anonymously and him righting his wrongs from the past, he's changed his community for the better, fixing the world overall, so people are proving that people can change their past. Thank you.
Alright, first of all, any rich guy can donate to charity. That doesn't make him special at all. Second of all, I was never calling him prideful. I was never saying he was because he was refusing to burn coal himself. He was cold at that moment. I wasn't calling him prideful. I was calling him cheap. Second of all, if we're judging him by the standards of the end of the story, of course he's a good person. He has a character arc. That's after the development. So, granted, I don't know the specifics of what exactly this, the title of this debate was. But if we're both arguing from two different viewpoints, you're at the end of the story, I'm at the beginning, and we're gonna have disagreed. That's a guarantee. Regarding his development, he came up remember because he had a fiance, right? I forgot her name. I don't know her name. I don't care about her name. Her name doesn't matter.
Then she's irrelevant to the argument.
No, her stance is relevant. Her name is irrelevant. You didn't name the charity he was donating to, I'm afraid. What was the charity called? Irrelevant. Ha! Anyway, so he was working too hard to care about the other people in his life. And, that's why she abandoned him, if I recall. Anyway, so he was so obsessed with his work. He was so obsessed with getting ahead, with making money, because he clearly valued money over, typical personal happiness. Which is the lesson he learns throughout the story. Again, if you were judging him by the end of the story, of course he's an objectively good person. Where you're judging him by the beginning of the story, of course he's meant to be objectively good.
If you believe that his past is his fault, you're just stupid.
His past is his fault.
You leave
Those were his
your
actions.
food on the counter. You're stupid, and your side of the argument is just stupid in general. Speechless. End of video.
Look, if Scrooge is
No, genuinely, end the video.